Chat, I have an announcement to make. In the next Genshin Impact update, we might be benching Chlorand. Why would I be benching Chlorand? This is Varesa. When I say this is Varesa, can I get the clip from the trailer with the mushroom looking up at her ass as she crushes him to death, slowly and painfully? What is Varesa? This is Natlan's Electro DPS. I'm gonna answer this up front, and we will be revisiting it later. Yes, Varesa is the new best Electro DPS. She is power sliding Chlorand out of all of her teams. That is happening, yes. But, and it's a pretty big but. Yeah, this is Varesa. She is an Electro Plunge DPS, but not all of her damage is plunge, technically. Okay, Varesa's kit is very complicated in text form, but I'm able to boil it down for you very simply. Spam E, C, P. Now, how and why does that work? Varesa generates Night Soul by using her elemental skill and by plunging. So if you do elemental skill plunge or 2 plunges, you will enter the Night Soul state. When you are in the Night Soul state, you access the Fiery Passion state. She exits the Night Soul / Fiery Passion state by doing a plunge. So her gameplay is revolving in and out of the Night Soul state, between normal plunges and Fiery Passion plunges. I use the Night Soul to destroy the Night Soul.
I'm just a messenger.
While Varesa is in her Night Soul state, she has access to the Fiery Passion version of her attacks. They have slightly different animations, and they do a little bit more damage. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It's just a vehicle to facilitate her looping in and out of... Essentially, it's to facilitate her spamming ECAP, or ECP, with essentially a limiter on how many she can do. So she can do, like, ECP 5 times at most. Varesa hulks out. It's morbing time. The way Varesa plunges is she uses the rush attack on her elemental skill. So after using her elemental skill, her next attack is this rush attack that launches her into the air. This is exactly like Gaming, except it requires 1 more input. There is one way it differs from Gaming though. Varesa has a plunge collision, which means she'll do slightly more damage against the enemy she targets than she will against enemies that are next to that enemy. Is this super marginal, and did I have to mention it? Yeah, it's super marginal. I technically didn't have to mention it, but I'm gonna mention it because it's cool. After Shunyun and Gaming removed plunge collisions from their special plunges, it's nice for a character to have a special plunge with a collision, because collision is one of those super jank mechanics that is rarely ever useful. But hey, it's an obscure mechanic. There is another mechanic that Varesa has that we need to talk about. This is probably the most important mechanic. Everything else is very ancillary in the background. It technically always does things, but may not interact with it in a meaningful way. That is not the case for Varesa's Elemental Burst. Varesa has 2 elemental bursts. She has 1 elemental burst, which is the normal elemental burst that you see every character have. She's got a special cutscene. She puts on the mask. She summons a wrestling ring. Varesa off the top rope! RKO! Yeah, you never actually want to use that attack. It's cool. I really like it. Unfortunately, you should never use it. Which, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, but you never use it. What you do instead is after a Fiery Passion state plunge, Varesa can use her elemental burst to do a kick. This does not have a cut-in scene. It is just a attack animation that consumes energy and does damage. This is considered a plunge, and it costs 30 energy. Her energy tank is 70 total. So in an ideal world, you want to be able to consistently do this twice every rotation. Energy may be a bit restrictive to do that, but she wants to. I recommend running 130 to 140 energy regen on this character because of that, or you could decide you don't really care about it and run 0, but it technically should be better to run energy regen. This one I'm just gonna mention because it's funny. Varesa has a unique exploration passive. She can regenerate 20 phlogiston every 20 seconds if you feed her. Brilliant. Get it? It's because she's fat. Excellent work, Hoya. It is cool to see Genshin characters with unique body plans where she's a little bigger. That's cool. I hope it sets a precedent for us getting more unique characters in the future. We'll see. Imagine Genshin Impact, but in a post-apocalyptic nightmare. Once Human is the most anticipated free open world survival game on April 23rd, 2025. It's got a massive open world, multiplayer, and it's not pay to win. If you love open world games like Genshin Impact, this game has everything you enjoy, but with a horror twist. Play how you want, explore solo, team up with friends, or take on enemies in PvP. As diverse maps and monsters, from abandoned cities to eerie wastelands, every area is packed with danger. While you're exploring, you can collect blueprints, upgrade your gear, and take on massive bosses. Seamlessly switch between mobile and PC to keep playing anywhere and play with friends. Pre-register now! 30 million players have already registered. Don't miss out. Click the link below to get exclusive gold cosmetics, plus a chance to win awesome rewards. Once Human launches April 23rd at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Are you ready to survive? We're talking about gearing. Varesa is debuting with a new set. The new set gives up to 100 plunge damage bonus. So something I always said about set design in Genshin and what it would take to make a set better than Obsidian Codex. I've always said it would take a set that gives 100 damage bonus to be better than Obsidian Codex. And they actually made a set that gives 100 damage bonus. Because it does not apply to all of Varesa's damage, meaning it does not apply to her rush attack, her charged attack, elemental skill, or charged attack, the set is as good as Obsidian Codex. So yes, if you were curious, if you wanted to be lazy and not farm the set for Varesa, it's not a terrible idea. They forgot to make the set that much meaningfully better than Obsidian Codex. Is it better than Obsidian Codex because it buffs your first attack? Yes. Yes, it is. It does contribute to having more front load. Does it come with a set for presumably for Skirk? Yes. Yes, it does. I will probably be looking at using Merchasai Hunter on Skirk, but I will be farming the Skirk set just in case she has too much crit rate for Merchasai to be viable. If they were more intelligent about this, they would have given Varesa more crit rate, but she doesn't. So that's how we got to the situation we are at with her unique set versus Obsidian Codex. Yes, her set is debatably better because of the front load argument. You can certainly get away with not farming this one, which is not something I normally say. Normally, I am the first person to tell you, no, you cannot use Glad on Arlecchino. That is not good enough. Go farm the ball set. It's just not the case this time. I don't really know what to say. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna try to do more Zenless content. More Genshin content is coming. Did you know most of you watching are not currently subscribed? You should subscribe. Quickly talking about weapons. You're gonna use a 5-star weapon. It's ideally hers, or you're gonna use the Widsith. That's it. Those are the options. She doesn't have a better 4-star weapon option. She's a plunge attack character. There aren't any plunged attack catalysts. So it's a 5-star weapon or Widsith. Widsith is always a pretty good weapon though. It does shine when you're able to rotate content. So if you are interested in trying to speedrun with Varesa, Widsith will be good. She's not really a speedrun character, but I don't know, knock yourself out, have fun. I don't know. We are now gonna talk about teams. If you just want a spreadsheet bet and go, oh my God, look at the damage, look at the damage per second, look at how good this is, oh my God, she's meta, oh my God, look at how meta Varesa is. Varesa is one of the few, in quotation marks, above 100k DPS characters. The reason I say few in quotation marks is because all of them are from Natlan. 100k DPS is the new, standard? It's the new expectation for DPSs. So while she technically is, and you can bat that, I feel like you may not have the full perspective on the fact that that's actually just expected now. It's the new norm. Sorry, guys. Also the 100k DPS teams all take Mafika, yes. Which is also problematic, but shush, we're not gonna worry about that. If you are looking to get the best performance out of Varesa, we need to talk about Iansan. Chat? This is Iansan, the savior of electro DPS. She isn't really, but she's cool. I think Iansan is a really, really interesting character. The first thing we need to establish with her is she's electro. We'll circle back around to why that matters, but let's talk about what she does. She holds scroll, she heals, she buffs attack, she gives damage bonus, and she generates some electro energy. Basically, she's as good of a support as you could hope for. Now, that does not mean you should play Iansan with every character. She's definitively much more niche than a pyro character than if there were a pyro character who gave these buffs. How is she niche? She has a mechanic where her attack buff scales on how much you move or if your character is from Natlin. Bravo, you've done it again for you. Yes, she is a support for Natlin characters or for characters who move around a lot like Chlorand. Do not expect Iansan to be a significant damage increase for someone like Arlecchino, but do expect Iansan to be better for someone like Chlorand or someone like Shaska or someone like Mahwika. Yaming, she doesn't generate pyro particles, so no. So no. If she generated pyro particles, then yes, but she doesn't. Because Iansan is an electro character, she does not generate pyro energy. Yeah, I know, right? Wild concept, but yes, that means no Xiaoling. That means no Gaming. She is not a Bennett replacement. If you're expecting her to be, don't curb your expectations right now. What she is very good for is she's good for characters like Kirich. She's good for characters like Chlorand. She's good for characters like Mahwika. I'm gonna talk about this here. Yes, C6 Iansan has successfully boosted Mahwika to 140k DPS by replacing Shilinen. You've done it again, Hoyo. Brilliant work. Essentially, all of Varesa's teams will feature Iansan. That's just how it is. Iansan is a very good character to partner with Varesa. Iansan is a fixed slot. You know what's not a fixed slot? You get a choice. You get to sit down and think, okay? You get to make a conscious choice between your choice of the next support. Would you like to play Chevreuse or would you like to play Xianyun? And you can't play both together. Dendrover. If you want a Dendrover DPS, play Chlorant. Nah, Ida C2. Play not Ida C2 with Xianyun. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because not all of Varesa's damage is considered plunge. Chevreuse is technically better than the Xianyun teams at base, assuming C6 Chevreuse and C0 on Xianyun. But Xianyun can be very competitive with 5-star cons, so I'm not gonna fully exclude her in the recommendation here. I'm not gonna say, you must play Chevreuse or do not play Varesa. Meta police, open up. Knock, 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 knock. No, that's not something I'm gonna do here. You can play either. If you wanna play Hyperbloom, go for it. I'm not gonna stop you, man. Have fun. Am I recommending it? No, but live your best life. Don't let me stop you. So if you're gonna play Chevreuse, you gotta look at pyro characters. There is one elephant in the room, the Void Hunter herself, Mahwika. Yeah, Mahwika is technically the best option here. But if you don't want to use Mahwika as a support, you can use Bennett, or you can use Xiaoling? Yeah, Xiaoling or the Pyro main character. You can use, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You can use Dia. Yeah, if you're gonna use Xianyun, Popcorn? But yes, if you want to use Xianyun, the technical best flex option is Farina, but Farina's not the only option. You can use Shilinen, you can use Nahida if you have constellations. There are other options, but Farina is technically the best option there. So yes, I was talking about this earlier. Varesa's overload teams can be 100k DPS. If you're looking at Mahwika-less teams, generally you're looking at the 70, 80k DPS range, which is a lot more normal. But yes, her optimal team is 100k DPS. You do have permission to bat, but I think it's a little goofy to bat because that's just where the expectations are right now. Yes, Varesa is debatably, or not really even debate. Yes, Varesa is expected to be better than Chlorand. Chlorand, my mid goat, and is expected to be the new best Electro DPS. But How good is the best Electro DPS, really? Does it really matter? That's up for you to decide. I hope you enjoy Varesa. She should be a very fun character to play, especially if you like plunging. Personally, this is a personal note, okay? Look, don't jump down my throat. I am much more interested in playing Iansan with Chlorand than I am playing Varesa. Don't shoot the messenger. Look, I'm just voicing my own opinion, okay? Look, Varesa is very good. If you are interested in Varesa, pull her, you'll have fun. She's also gonna be great for exploration, not just because of the eating ability. She can run on water, she can run on land. She can jump really well. She's going to be really useful when exploring the new map, but she may not be for everyone. And she may not be this meta must-pull character. And you know what? That's okay. She doesn't have to be. And if you want to help her perform a bit better, she does have all right cons. C1 and C2 essentially make her damage more consistent. They give her energy to make her special elemental burst much easier to use twice per rotation. And her C1 makes essentially all of her plunges do much more similar damage instead of having the alternating high and low of the fiery passion and the non-fiery passion plunge, which might be useful in multi-wave and just generally useful for doing more consistent damage. That is Varesa.